what do you pay attention to? Like, who are you following on social media? Whose email lists are you on? Whose videos do you watch? Like, who do you hang around with? What media do you pay attention to? Like, do you watch the news on the TV, listen to it on the radio? What advertisements do you generally see in the on the TV programs and shows that you watch? Like, just draw those to your mind. And if you can't think of them right now, just for the next 24 hours, I want you to start to pay attention to the message within the radio, the TV, the blogs, emails that you receive. Because media distorts your reality. In fact, it goes into creating your reality. See, we all think that we live in the same environment, right? But it isn't what actually happens to us. It's what we feel about what happens to us that counts. So as a network marketer, as someone building a business, right, you think about every outcome that happens in your business a certain way. There are people that will give 10 presentations and they will say, you've experienced this before, right, with speaking to people, it doesn't work. It's a scheme, it's a scam, I'm quitting, I'm out of here, this isn't going to work. I gave 10 presentations. You go to some other person who's given 20 presentations and they say, I'm just getting started. I found 20 ways to improve. I found 20 ways that don't work. Let me refine my process. Let me kind of go through with a different approach. I'm still excited about the future. Now, the second situation was far worse. They got twice as many negative outcomes, yet that person remains positive because of their attitude. And that, a large part of that is down to their expectations. And what are their expectations down to? From you and I's expectations. It's what we see happening around us, what we're told to expect. If someone, let's say for example, an upline brought in the person who was giving the 10 presentations with the message of, hey, listen, you know, people, we see these social media posts all the time, right? Copy and paste, make $1,000 this month, easiest business that you've seen, refer 3 who get 3 who get 3, it fills out your triangle, and then you retire at the beach earning 58 grand a month, right? If that's their expectation and what the upline said, and then they get in and they're like, this is nowhere near copy and paste. This is, I haven't signed anybody up at all. It's 2 months down the line. What's happening here? Well, there's no wonder that that person is going to quit. Because they were expecting this, and this is what they got. Missed expectations. Now, let's say the second upline said, you know what, this game is difficult. It isn't easy, but it is simple. You're going to go through a whole bunch of people. They maybe say yes, but they're probably going to say no until you start to develop some skills and a better approach. So just expect some negativity. Expect people to say no. Expect some people to be rude because, hey, you know what? They often bring out what they're skeptical of themselves and they dump it on you. Now they see you're trying to take action. They want to drag you back down into their kind of negativity. So expect these things. Maybe it'll take us 30, 40, 50 before we even get a single positive response. So this person's at 20. No sweat, right? No sweat with 20 presentations. Their expectancy was set because of the person that influenced their expectations and what they were thinking was going to happen when they entered into that same situation. So I want you to monitor this. I want you to have a clear out today, okay? I want you to think about whose YouTube channels are you subscribed to and who should you be subscribed to. Like, I have about 4 or 5 people who I have the little bell notified. You know, on when you subscribe on YouTube, you can have a little bell, so I definitely receive their videos first. On Facebook, I have the same thing. I have 4 or 5 people who I want to receive their influence on. I want to think the way they think. I want their results. I want to know what they're knowing. I want to see what they're doing. So again, I have see first. Didn't just like the page. I had see first on the notification and got rid of everybody else. Anybody that's negative, anybody that's against network marketing, anybody that's trying to pull people down, being offensive, you know, talking about things that I just don't want to allow me to kind of sway my viewpoint, then I unfollow that stuff and I get rid of that stuff. Why? Because I want to be as much in charge as possible of what my reality is. Don't you? Don't you want to create an environment that is going to allow you to flourish? It's going to keep you positive despite the ups and downs, which there will be, right? As entrepreneurs, we're going to go through ups and downs. Having a good group of people around you, you can do that digitally nowadays. You may say, Richard, easy for you to say, I bet you got a whole group of people. No, I live in the middle of nowhere here in a rural area in the UK, but I keep in contact with a good small group of people through their social media, and for coaches and people like that, you know, I make the effort to call them and keep in touch that way. But the majority of my influence has come the same way we're communicating now, watching YouTube content, trying to keep close to the campfire of the people whose I want to feel their warmth. So today, next 24 hours, I want you to say, okay, what am I listening to? What am I watching? Who am I following? Is that serving me or is that being detrimental to me? Is that creating an environment where I'm positive, where I can learn skills that are applicable to what I'm doing, where I've got someone who's pro the business that you're building? Or have you got people around you, influencers, the news, the media, that is teaching you to be fearful, skeptical, filled with hatred? Watch out for this, watch out for that, don't do this, don't do that, it probably won't work, you probably can't do it, it's based on luck, you can't create it. These messages are very, very harmful, especially long term, if you are serious about creating success and a successful life. So I just wanted to kind of give you this message. I thought about it here in the car. I just got back from the gym. I was listening to a Jim Rohn podcast, and I was thinking to myself, how long has it been since I actually listened to the radio in my car? How long has it been? I was thinking, man, it's probably been like over a year, because I don't want that influence of the news, of the advertising, of all that kind of stuff. I want to know what I want to know, and that is what Jim Rohn has to say, particularly in the car at the moment. So take this exercise, go and implement it into your daily life. Give it a couple of weeks. You're going to feel a heck of a lot better. You're going to notice your level of skill raising. Some practical suggestions: YouTube people to follow, email newsletter to be on, people who you see first on social media, podcasts that you listen to in the car or when you're working out, TV stations, muting the adverts and that kind of rubbish in between them. All those are great suggestions. Books that you read, people you hang out with, these are all great things to control to build the right environment. I hope you enjoyed today's advice. If you are a network marketer specifically and you want to know how to build a business, I can teach you how to take people who don't even know you, they're complete strangers, have them see what you've got, present to them in a way that has them open-minded, and have them join right there and then. Exactly what to say, exactly what to do when you're using the internet. I use this same system to go from 328 no's in 3 companies to over 700 yeses, and now this information is responsible for over £1 million worth of sales for many network marketers in their industry. You can find that at richardmatheru.com/webinar. That's where you'll find that information. You can register for a free webinar, and I'll go through everything with you there for completely free. I'll even give you a free success strategy workbook and the slides of the webinar to implement it in your particular business. As always, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires than excuses, and I'll catch up with you on the webinar or the next video. Bye for now.